Anurag Thakur, and talking about the Rohingya issue, once again pointing fingers at the Aam Aadmi Party and the manner in which, according to the BJP, Aam Aadmi Party has been compromising its stand and its entire political discourse on national security. The BJP clarified yesterday, the union government clarified that these are not any kind of special facilities which are being made for Rohingyas. In fact, the government remains committed to sending and reporting back the illegal Rohingya immigrants, a stand that the union government had also taken before the Supreme Court of India. Now, it would be interesting to see what kind of reaction really comes in from the Aam Aadmi Party. But clearly, the BJP raking up multiple issues, saying that not just on this issue, on various other corruption issues, it is the Aam Aadmi Party which has not towed a proper or a correct political line in terms of the political morality and how their netas ought to conduct themselves. He has also said that it's Mr. Arvind Kejriwal who sympathizes with Rohingyas and illegal immigrants in the country, and hence the Aam Aadmi Party is compromising on the national interests. Let me quickly check if my colleague Arun Dhata is with us on the broadcast. Maria Shakil is also with us, our political editor. Maria, put it into context for us. What does the statement of Anurag Thakur really do to the entire discourse that you've been reporting on, we've been talking about, as far as the Rohingya issue is concerned?
So, look, as far as this issue is concerned, the Home Ministry issued a detailed clarification yesterday and said that as far as that region or place where the EWS flats are concerned, that has to be declared as a detention center, and that the Home Ministry doesn't look at this issue as different from what they have stated earlier. So their stand remains the same. It was some kind of miscommunication that was done by Hardeep Puri, Urban Development Minister. And since then, we have seen multiple clarifications that have come from the BJP, from Home Ministry, from various BJP leaders as well. Now, Anurag Thakur essentially saying that it is Arvind Kejriwal who's presenting a wrong picture, because it's the Aam Aadmi Party which was the first party to wade into this entire issue and say that the BJP has much to explain. Is there a change in stand as far as the Rohingyas are concerned? Do they see them as illegal migrants anymore or not? Or have they had a change of heart where there is some kind of an understanding that perhaps the refugees need shelter in India, because that was the kind of tweet that was put out by Hardeep Singh Puri. Now, Anurag Thakur saying that Arvind Kejriwal is essentially someone who lies as a chief minister. He's presenting a completely different picture, and that his party has much to explain as far as even this issue is concerned.
Maria, this sort of flip-flop, if I might say, that we have seen coming in from the BJP on the Rohingya issue, or the miscommunication, if one were to believe the version of the BJP that has happened, what does it really tell us about this Rohingya controversy? Also, the manner in which questions have been raised over Aam Aadmi Party by the BJP. It's a very terse political tone that the BJP has adopted.
Yes, that's right, because increasingly we are seeing that it is the Aam Aadmi Party which is joining issues with the BJP, be it on the issues of freebies, because the BJP has been questioning particularly the Aam Aadmi Party's freebie culture, free electricity, free DTC bus rides for women and all that. So that is what the Aam Aadmi Party and BJP have been joining issues. If you look at it, freebies, recent Rohingya issue, in the past, multiple such issues. So now the BJP is essentially saying that when you look at declaring detention center, it was communicated to the Delhi government that they were supposed to declare it as a detention center, but they did not do so. So, and as far as the Home Ministry is concerned, they have communicated to the External Affairs Ministry that the deportation process has to happen with the country from where these Rohingyas have come. As far as providing them any shelter or giving them some space in the country is concerned, that is not happening.
That is not happening. Maria Shakil getting us all the details. Shehzad Poonawalla, the spokesperson of the BJP, is also joining us on the broadcast. Shehzad, we just heard the statement that has come from Anurag Thakur. Yesterday, there was a clarification that was put out by the MHA as well. But that clarification was in stark contradiction to what Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri had said. Why this miscommunication?
The position is very clear. The MHA has clearly said that there is no plan to allot any EWS flats at all to any illegal Rohingya immigrants. In fact, it was the Delhi government, by its letter dated May 2021, that begged and requested for the EWS flats and a community center for these illegal Rohingyas from the NDMC. And in fact, let me put two more facts which are not in the public domain, or at least haven't been spoken about. In May 2021, the Delhi government has given an affidavit to the Delhi High Court saying that don't worry, Delhi High Court, we are providing per paid ration to these Rohingyas They will not starve. They will not be in any difficulty. And apart from that, when these Rohingyas illegally settled on Madanpur Khadar land of 5.2 acres belonging to UP government, and the UP government was removing them, it was Aam Aadmi Party's Amanatullah Khan who ensured water, bijli connection, ration for them, and also prevented their removal from that place. Eventually, they were removed from that place. Both these facts are there in the public domain for anybody to check. And therefore, the question is that Rohingya ke saath Aam Aadmi Party ka hamesha raha hai haath. Now, these people should explain about that letter of the Delhi government to NDMC about Amanatullah Khan's stand. He has said on record that these Rohingyas are not a national security threat, and the government of India has said in Lok Sabha and in Supreme Court that Rohingyas are a national security threat.
No,
We are very clear about
Shehzad,
this
you're right
policy.
about that. That yes, that was a stand that was very categorically taken by the Solicitor General before a bench of the Supreme Court that said that Rohingyas are a security threat, and the manner in which they are settling in some parts of the country, that's problematic, and we want deportation to be done. And I'm going to raise some points that were raised in the Supreme Court as well, that we are signatories to multiple conventions of the United Nations. To provide basic food, shelter, clothing and water is an assertion, is a commitment that India has given on a global stage to most of the people who are perhaps persecuted minorities and coming here in India. Do you think the stand of the BJP or the government is in stark contradiction to that commitment at a global stage?
Whatever commitments India has signed and is a party to, we are following those commitments and conventions. Those which we are not signed will not be followed, obviously, because we are not bound by them. But having said that, our commitment is clear that while we do have a humanitarian approach towards every person in need, the illegal refugees and illegal Rohingyas can't be given patronage at the state expense of Indian people, and the Indian people are the first priority who should get the right on the resources of this country. But that's why the question arises that why did Delhi government beg for an EWS center, EWS flats for them, for the community center for them? Why did they tell the Delhi High Court we are giving them rations? And fourthly, please ask if Amanatullah Khan went and defended those Rohingyas who had stayed illegally on the Madanpur Khadar land, and did he not go and defend them, and did he not give them water and electricity connections? If any of these facts are wrong, I am ready to debate with any Aam Aadmi spokesperson, including Mr. Kejriwal, on this issue. I invite him on your channel. I'll get the proof.
Very briefly, before I go to my colleague Arun Tata, you just said a few seconds ago that a humanitarian approach is taken by the government of India, and that has been the tradition of this country. You also rightly pointed out that if anybody is a security threat, they must be deported. But providing basic food, shelter, water, is that something problematic? Is that an issue with the Aam Aadmi Party?
No, the fact of the matter is that the Delhi government has not provided 10 lakh people in need with ration cards. They are not providing real water, free water to those who don't have piped water connections, and they are at the behest of the tanker mafia. And that water and ration meant for Indian people, for those who are born in this land, is being given to Rohingya illegals is not acceptable. It is a humanitarian disservice to the people of India who are citizens of India, and that human rights also has to be protected by government of India and by people of India. And therefore we ask Delhi government why they have defrauded Indian people of their rights and been so kind to the Rohingyas only because of vote bank politics.